Hello and welcome to episode 171 of Controller Club, the friendly face gaming space, a podcast where three friends from three continents share in one love, and that is video games. On today's show, a PlayStation State of Play is seemingly coming soon. Borderlands 4 is bursting at the seams, and we will be drafting the greatest sound effects in video game history. But before all that, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Kleinfeld, alongside me today, as always, are two of my best friends in the whole wide gaming world. First, coming to us from across the pond, it is the digital art daredevil himself, Tom Drew. Tom, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good, yeah. I'm just kind of the thought crossed my mind that we're talking about like sound effects later in the show, and I'm just wondering like whether there's going to be any impressions of these sounds because I'm wondering how do we incorporate this stuff into the episode. So I'm kind of excited to see what I don't know what this conjures up in us. I guess.
We'll see how much time I have in the edit. I have thought about potentially finding these sound effects and putting them in. However, recording late on a Friday afternoon, peek behind the curtain, we'll see what happens. Okay, going
Yeah.
away for the weekend in a matter of, I guess, hours, like tomorrow morning, but we'll see if we can make it work. Otherwise, Lauren may need to do impressions of all of our sound effects.
No, that's what Tom is for. He does the
Wait,
intros.
why me?
Tom is the human music maker. Next
Okay.
up, that voice you heard, it is journalist extraordinaire, Australian abroad / the Canadian in training, in a nice Fallout shirt, getting ready for Fallout Season 2. Lauren, how's it going?
It's going well, but yeah, to Tom's point about the sound effects, we are in this wonderful world where we have technology that can make the sound effects for us. So there will be no impressions today.
No impressions.
Damn.
I don't know if I can
Wow.
promise that. I don't know if I can promise that.
No, I'll be doing such visceral descriptions that the audience will just have to feel it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You are a writer
Yes.
at heart, though.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Us two, we're just buffoons. We have there's
We're jesters. We're court jesters. So.
exactly. Okay, let's get into it. It's been a little bit. The news we choose, Tom, give us that news jingle, pretty please. We got some headlines.
It's the news we choose. Yeah.
We start with me. A new PlayStation presentation or state of play is coming next week, it seems. This is from Evan Campbell at GameSpot. Sony is reportedly prepping a new PlayStation event for next week, according to reliable leaker Nate the Hate 2. However, it is not clarified whether this could be a state of play or a PlayStation showcase, though there hasn't been a version of the latter in over 2 years at this point. The last two PlayStation State of Play events have each focused on a single game. The July presentation put the spotlight on the first-party exclusive, Ghost of Yotei, while earlier this month, Sony showed off the James Bond title 007 First Light from Hitman developer IO Interactive. One game that could be featured at the possible PlayStation event next week is Marvel's Wolverine from Insomniac Games. On top of past rumblings about its appearance, a new report from MP First states that Marvel's Wolverine is slated to arrive in 2026. The game was first announced in 2021. Other prospects for popping up include Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet from Naughty Dog, Saros from Returnal developer Housemarque, or any number of third-party titles. So far this year, Sony has held 5 different state-of-play events. Keep in mind, the company has not officially announced anything yet. Now, I think it is probably a pretty good bet to say we will get a state of play before the end of September, just because the rumblings are there. The people who usually talk about these things are talking about these things. So I want to ask the two of you, not if it's going to happen, but when it does happen, what is the one thing that you want to see? What is the one thing, whether it is pie in the sky, whether it is a actual credible prediction on your part, what is the one thing that you want to see at this state of play? Lauren Rouse.
Wolverine.
Okay, I feel like it's a pretty good bet to be. What do you specifically with Wolverine? Because that is, I think, a pretty good, solid bet. What is it with Wolverine that you think is next? In that kind of promotional role? Because obviously we have just that one trailer of him sitting at a bar, released the very same day we got the first Spider-Man 2 trailer, and it's been 4 years since then.
Yeah, like literally anything, because we've had nothing. So I think it would be around about the right time to start getting the hype train going for this game if it is coming out in 2026, which I'm a firm believer it is. I thought it was going to come out this year. But then once we started seeing where Ghost of Yotei was placed, I figure it's more likely to be next year now. But I believe this game is probably pretty far along. I know that they had the hack happen like a couple of years ago, which may have slowed things down a little bit over at Insomniac. But this is something that's been, like you said, in the works since we even heard about Marvel Spider-Man 2. So I think that it is going to be the next thing that they release. I think it will be before Spider-Man 3 and this potential Venom offshoot that they do. And yeah, I think it could be as early. I mean, it's not going to come out around GTA 6 next year, but it could be like a mid-year summer release for them next year. So that now would be the time to kind of like start planting those flags for next year.
If this is a first half of the year game, we've heard whispers about Intergalactic over the last few days. Neil Druckmann posting in his Twitter bios that that game is quote unquote soon now. Do you think that that could be a 2026 game as well? And would we hear about that here?
I don't think it's next year. I just don't. I would like it to be, but I just don't think it will be for some reason. I think it's a
Tom,
2027.
what about you? Do you have any big predictions for the state of play?
I'm with Lauren. I think Wolverine. I'm holding up a Lego Wolverine figure for the audio listeners here. I this is the thing that I want to see the most for sure. Like, my hope is gameplay. Like, I just want to see how this game. I know we had like some leaks like way back of kind of some early stuff that was going on with that game. But I want to see gameplay. I want to see other X-Men. I want to see Cyclops. I keep harping on about this thing, but I want to see Cyclops so bad in the game if he is actually there. Yeah, the thing is, like, if Intergalactic isn't next year, to me, if Wolverine's not coming out before GTA 6, to me I feel like they're probably going to save it for like their full game, which kind of sucks, like, if that's the case. So to be the kind of, I don't know, hopium believer, I'm kind of subscribing to the idea that maybe Intergalactic is next year as well. I think Wolverine comes out first half of the year, maybe before. Probably not. Probably not before GTA 6. There's not enough lead time. But maybe shortly after, and then Intergalactic or some other big, maybe unknown thing that we're not even like. We don't even have our kind of finger on the pulse on is coming out in November. I think, I mean, I know this year's kind of been similar with Ghost of Yote's really been the only major, like, single player
Stranding.
first party.
Yeah, Death Stranding too.
I guess Death Stranding, but Kojima Productions is still kind of, it still feels a little separate. Like, they're working with PlayStation, but like, I don't know.
Do
It
It
was a
they
feels,
PlayStation
play?
exclusive though, wasn't
It
it?
is PlayStation
I
exclusive. Do they
guess so.
play the like
Yeah.
PlayStation Studios like thing before that game starts? Like it
I don't
isn't
think
a
anyone's
PlayStation
played it.
Studio, but
Yeah, I actually don't know. So anyway, I think, like, I don't know. I think there are at least a couple things ruminating. I'd like them to be Wolverine and Intergalactic if possible. But as for anything else, I don't know. I'm just gonna throw out another Crash game. Maybe I know that make Lauren happy, but I don't know if that's gonna
Thank
happen.
you.
why not Spyro? I mean, they could be partnering with Xbox for that, but Crash, Spyro, both PlayStation legacy characters. I think Wolverine. I'm going to say February. I'm just going to plant my flag in that. I have no basis on that. I think that that game. I don't know. When did Spider-Man Miles Morales was announced at that PS5 announced event in June or July of that year, and then came out in November. So like that's like
Yeah,
I
They
don't.
typically have very short lead times for these. For Insomniac
Yeah,
does for these
Spider-Man 2
games.
was
that is
long.
true.
Spider-Man 2 was like over a year.
That was an
But like
anomaly. Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, same thing. Ratchet and Clank, I think, was also at that PlayStation event, and that was like the following summer after the PlayStation 5 came out. So
Spider-Man 2 was
Yeah.
short. It had like a big gameplay. No, because they had I mean technically this has been the longest lead time for an Insomniac game. Like
easily.
gameplay was announced ages ago.
100%.
Like it had
Yeah.
that gameplay, I think, reveal in
That was
like
at
summer, and
E3
then it was
yeah,
out in
and then it was out, but we got
November.
the trailer in 21
Yeah. There's a
before
teaser
that, which was
beforehand.
just like the two of them on the street and then like turned around and
Yeah.
an alleyway with Venom in it, I think was kind of where we got from that.
Yeah, I think yeah. But if we're going by that logic with Wolverine, like the teaser was so long ago, was that what, the same showcase?
It was the same showcase. I think they
Yeah.
were back to back.
So they
Yeah.
can definitely, I think, start marketing this sooner to the time.
Yeah, but I think honestly, I could maybe see like a spring release before getting ahead of GTA 6. Like Horizon has had that kind of spring
The
release
Last of Us
before.
Part 2 was originally slated for like February and then
Yeah.
Actually,
ended up
guys,
So
getting
what's
pushed.
happening is Horizon 3 is being announced and it's coming out in May 2026.
Same day as
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the big thing. That's so true.
they're going to take it
Like,
on.
oh god, can you imagine? But yeah, I think it is possible. It's just so. I just want to see this game, guys. It's so crazy that like we have gone so long without seeing Wolverine. I do just feel like with PlayStation, I just don't really know what their MO is at the moment. Just with all the like the multiplayer stuff being up in the air, like I'm sure we'll maybe get some stuff from that Bungie
Marathon,
game Marathon.
Fair Games.
Fair
What
games. All we hear about fair games. Please, are they safe? But it's just like with all that stuff, like completely being nebulous. I'm like, what is really going on? So I don't think this is going to be like the Nintendo Direct that we just got, where it's like announcement after announcement after announcement, where it's like a packed slate. Um, but I'd like it to be. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe there's that God of War like Metroidvania. Wasn't that like a rumor at some
Yeah,
point?
I think that's a really good bet because that was supposed to be late this
Yeah.
year, and now there's been reports that it was pushed to early 26. So, and that's
Yeah.
a smaller title. Like, I don't think they're gonna push
Mm,
that like they're like it's the third God of War game, but I
yeah.
have a good feeling that's where we hear about it. The game I'll pose before we move on: Final Fantasy 7-3 or the remake Part 3.
That would get me excited. Like if they do that,
We're
that'd be
coming up in a few months.
crazy.
Like once the turn of the calendar happens, it'll be 2 years since the last one. At
Hmm.
least announce it, and then maybe it comes out early 28 or not 28, 27.
27. I could see that. I mean, they keep teasing it. They're like, the trilogy's coming to Switch too, guys. Don't worry. So the fact that they keep kind of referring to it, I think now probably is the time. I think you're right. Like to kind of at least hint at it or show us a little bit of glimpse, because I think Rebirth had a similar kind of thing where it's like they had a small snippet trailer and then like a year or two later the game is out. So could happen.
That or Kingdom Hearts. Square's got to do something with these
Yeah.
two games that they have been working on forever, and so we have to see them eventually.
Which Disney movie is it gonna be a time
Oh, he'll
with?
have
Is it gonna
Star Wars
be?
in the trailer. It'll be awesome.
Oh god, yeah, Encanto.
We saw
He's the
Endor. We saw it. It was there.
Tron Ares.
Yeah,
Tron
Jared
Ares.
Leto himself.
Oh
Okay,
god.
Lauren, let's jump over to your news story.
All right. This week, we're going to talk about what's going on with Borderlands 4. This is a game we all played only 3 weeks ago. Oh, well, Tommy didn't play it, but Glenn and I played it about 3 weeks ago. And we're both very sold on it, but there's been a bit of release controversy. So basically, Borderlands 4 was released a week ago on PC and consoles to a generally favorable reception. It earned 83 on Metacritic and OpenCritic, and several reviewers have called it the best Borderlands game yet. But they all highlight one catch, which is the game isn't running very well. Digital Foundry's review of the game was, quote, Borderlands 4 review. Yes, there are big issues. PC players are reporting stutter, frame rate drops, and shader issues, while console players say the performance get worse the longer you play. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford even put out a workaround until they could patch the game, which was to, quote, quit game and restart, end quote. Pitchford has actually said a lot this week in the wake of Borderlands 4's issues. I pulled this from IGN, who've been covering it extensively, but basically he has issued confusing comments on why the console version of Borderlands 4 lacks a field of view slider, promised that it would have been impossible to break the Borderlands 4 servers through sheer weight of player numbers alone, told people to code your own engine and show us how it's done, please, and declared Borderlands 4 a premium game made for premium gamers. He's even started telling Borderlands 4 players to refund the game on Steam if they're that upset. Gearbox has already issued a patch targeting PC crashes and promises more are on the way. This is a bit of a mess, but it is kind of a tale we've heard before. This narrative that big anticipated game comes out and is plagued with glitches, like we've all experienced that. Star Wars Outlaws, Cyberpunk, the list goes on. So my question here isn't really like what we think about this, because I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think my question is like, is this as big a deal as the media coverage is making it seem? And what's the solution? Are games launching too early? Should they be spending more time patching these things out? Or is this just kind of what happens now with these big AAA games? Tom, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it shouldn't be how it is. The thing is, like, I guess the studios can get away with this now, so they can just do this. I mean, I know there's always going to be unforeseen circumstances that they can't prepare for when you're releasing a game at like such scale, but in an ideal world, like, there are other games that release in this like era of gaming that are fine. Like they come out and they run well. Um, like, obviously it depends on the type of game that you're releasing, but like, I look at like Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously, that released on like the Switch, the original Switch, but like, so it had some technical hiccups in just terms of like the frame rate and that sort of thing, just because of the sheer power. But otherwise, like, it ran pretty smoothly. And that's like the Nintendo kind of touch. I think they like were kind of working on that game, just like refining it for the past years before release, I guess.
But then what about Pokemon?
Pokemon is a different situation. Pokemon is just the Pokemon company is not good at that sort of stuff. It's still bad. It's like not, they shouldn't get away with it. But I do wonder. I guess it is, again, it's a case by case basis. But like, you have the Cyberpunks of the world now, where it's like a game can come back from these disasters essentially. But and like, I could eat my words here, but for me, like, I see these sorts of things, and like, I wasn't going to play Borderlands 4 anyway, but I'm kind of just like, well, I'm just not going to engage with it. And like, I wonder if the mindsets of gamers are going to like shift towards not engaging with games like right off the bat, like this, to try and avoid launch scenarios like this, just because like, you spend all this money and then it's like, you can't, like, the game's not running the way it should, but in a couple months time it probably will be fine. So at least for me, I have kind of adopted that thing of like waiting and seeing with a lot of these games, just so we're not caught in this cycle of like, the game's bad and I'm broken, and but eventually it'll be fine. So I don't know. I mean, I was never going to play it anyway, but so this doesn't really sway my opinion one way or the other. But maybe if it was a game that like I was really excited for, I don't know, it would change my opinion.
It's like a catch-22 scenario, right? Because launches of games are so highly publicized. Like, every company wants to be there being like, we had 500,000 concurrent players on Steam or something like that. They want that to take back to their shareholders to be like, look, this was successful, give us money for the next one, or we'll pay our dividends or whatever like that. So it is super important that I think games do have a good launch. But I think what this is really, like you say, Tom, I think it is getting into the mindset of players being like, well, it's not going to run properly on launch, so I'll just wait. So it's kind of just a matter of reputation where, okay, I know this company will launch a game and it'll run smoothly. So I'm willing to buy that one on day one. But for others, it does become this wait and see mentality. And I think that's something that really needs to be fixed, because that is damaging your company's reputation. Like, looking at The Witcher 4 now from CD Projekt Red, I am hesitant to get that straight away, despite being really excited for it, because of how Cyberpunk launched. And yes, Cyberpunk came good, but it took a long time to get there. And then that also ties into this issue of, well, should they have delayed the game to like work out these bugs?
They moved it up. It was
And you
September
kind of wonder
23rd.
why.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I
Can
guess
these
just to
things
get
only
those dollars earlier. Like, that's the cynical way of looking at
can
it.
these things only be fixed once it's out in the player environment? Like they have to stress test it. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what the solution is. But then, you delay a game and you get all this bad press. So I don't know what is the right move here. What do you think, Klein?
Well, there's a lot going on with Borderlands specifically, and the biggest thing, like, obviously there are games like you guys have talked about, like Cyberpunk and Pokemon, and there have been these messes, but like Borderlands 4 is using Unreal Engine 5, and we have now seen time and time again, specifically open world games in Unreal Engine 5 that are releasing exactly like this, specifically on PC. There have been console issues as well, and there are console issues with this game, but it is just I don't know how much more optimization like they could have done behind the scenes. Maybe this was kind of it, and they were like, we can iron out these wrinkles as we go forward. You mentioned Witcher 4. That's another game that like they are moving over to Unreal Engine for that game. And so like that's something I would watch really closely as we move into that. But it is kind of where gaming is at right now. The day one product is quite honestly like the worst version of the game it can possibly you're going to be able to play. And the game a week later, a month later, 3 months later, a year later, when it may be cheaper as well, will run better, will have more content, and will be the like opportune experience, I guess. So I think it really sucks that like these games are coming in this hot. And why did we move this game up 2 weeks? I think it may have been because they did it months and months and months ago, even before GTA 6's release. I think it was maybe to get out of the way of that. Same publisher, maybe there were plans, they get moved. But I don't know. I think that these games are coming in way too hot, and people are willing to accept a unideal product. There were still millions of people playing Borderlands. There's still a lot of people playing Borderlands with all this happening and really enjoying themselves and really having fun and still calling it the best Borderlands in the series. But we've kind of like grown as a gaming community to like accepting that this is okay. There have been instances, obviously, like Cyberpunk, where we said, wait, no, this isn't okay. Like, this is one step too far. There's too much wrong with this game at launch. But right now, these few things, like the memory leak thing on console, which is like the longer you play, the more save data in that one session accumulates, and then the game starts slowing down. And so you got to restart and kind of come back in. I think Skyrim years ago had that like similar issue where it was remembering every door you opened and where you put everything, and then it was bulking the game up as you went. But like it's a really, really crappy consequence to like so many things that have built up over the years on a publisher side, on a developer side, and on a gaming community side.
The thing is, like, if you do like care about this, and I think it's important that people do care about this sort of thing, like, do what Randy Pitcher says, like, vote for your wallet and like refund the game, like, because that's
Some
the
of those
only way.
comments are fantastic. Just
No,
absolutely
they
great
are
stuff.
crazy. Some of the things I've seen come out of it, I'm like, especially after we saw him like at PAX, it's kind of crazy to see him on stage and then see all this stuff. Like, anyway, but like that's the one thing that I'm like, well, yeah, like if people are upset, they should refund the game. They should like, get what they think they deserve with their money, because that's the only way you're going to signal to the developers and the shareholders that this isn't good enough. Until that needle like moves far enough where they realize like, okay, the consumer's not going to accept this. We're going to make sure this launch is like near perfect, because you can't. It's rare to have with a game like Borderlands 4. It's very rare to have like a perfect launch. In these scenarios, there's always going to be like things to iron out. But they should be as good as they can be, and the only way to tell these developers is not to leave an angry comment, because they're not going to see that. It is to vote with your wallet at the end of the day.
One thing I will say to give Gearbox and Take Two, 2K, everyone involved credit is there have been all these issues, but one issue I haven't been seeing is server issues, which is the number one thing you often see in these really like hyper online games most of the time. There hasn't been those like, the servers are now down for hours and hours and hours, and I'm trying to play the game I just bought. You can play it, there's just going to be frame rate stutters, and you can't adjust the field of view on console, and the longer you play on console, the slower the game gets.
Yeah, I think also to your point, Klein, like to be fair, they are one of the first games to do Unreal Engine 5. So of course they could be the first ones to encounter some of these issues, and that is like a teething process. It's just, I think, like you say as well, Tom, like it matters if it matters to you. But for me, I'm looking at this and being like, it stutters a bit. I don't really care. If it's crashing constantly and things aren't loading and it's like lagging heaps, that if impacts me. But if it's a few frame rate drops here or there, that's not going to impact like someone like me who doesn't really care about. I mean, firstly, I'm not going to be playing on PC, but like it doesn't have to be like a pristine experience for me. Like I still like playing Crash Bandicoot on the PS1. It doesn't have to be running at like 8K and 60 frames per second. So I think it is like the people who are making the most noise are the people who are annoyed by that kind of thing. And I get that we need to have standards, particularly when you're coming into things like using these really advanced GPUs and bringing out the PS5 Pro and then this like next generation where the consoles and the power are the thing that's important. So it kind of makes things like this look like reflect poorly on the quality of the game. But if it's still playable, that's still and it's still a good time and the product as a whole is still good, I think that's still an achievement. End of rant.
Okay. We've talked a lot about Cyberpunk in that conversation, which is funny because we're going to talk a little bit more about Cyberpunk. Tom, Drew, what's your story for the week?
Yeah, I swear to God, that wasn't planned. Like, but that was a great segue. Yeah, so I'm talking about how Cyberpunk 2 could be getting multiplayer, and this comes from Tom Phillips at IGN. CD Projekt Red looks set to include multiplayer features in Cyberpunk 2, years after similar plans were scrapped for Cyberpunk 2077. A posting for the role of Cyberpunk 2's lead network engineer lists the job's responsibilities as including the need to, quote, develop and optimize multiplayer systems, including matchmaking, with an aim to address challenges related to latency, bandwidth usage, and server performance, end quote. Applicants will also need to work, quote, closely with game designers, gameplay programmers, and other departments to integrate network features seamlessly, to play a pivotal role in designing and implementing the network architecture and online systems, end quote. While CD Projekt is yet to confirm Cyberpunk 2 will feature online gameplay, the developer did spend years experimenting with the possibility for the original Cyberpunk 2077. It has previously said it wanted to eventually bring online gameplay into all of its franchises, and specifically said it was considering multiplayer gameplay for Cyberpunk 2 in the past. So yeah, we've heard rumblings of kind of like multiplayer with Cyberpunk, the first Cyberpunk, and whether that would be integrated into the sequel. Obviously, this is still like a ways out. We still got The Witcher 4, like we also mentioned, like that's still to come first. So probably not going to see the fruits of these job listings and rumors for a while. But I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on like, do we want to see multiplayer in Cyberpunk? Is that something we'd be interested in? Like, if so, what like form would we want to see that in? Lauren, what do you think?
I think personally, no. I prefer my multiplayer games to be multiplayer games. Like they have been developed for that from the ground up, rather than being a kind of add-on or like an afterthought. Like I enjoyed my time with Last of Us factions like occasionally, but that's not why I bought the game. Same thing. I'm concerned about this because of what happened with the Last of Us multiplayer, and that they devoted so many resources to that and it just didn't end up working. And obviously, The Last of Us and Cyberpunk are very, very different worlds. One is very narrative driven, one's more open world, choose your own adventure. So I think that there are potentially more advantageous avenues that CD Projekt Red can go down with Cyberpunk to make this work. But I think it really depends what they do with it, because I think if it's being developed as a multiplayer game from the beginning, I think you're going to have a better chance of success. But then I guess you have the brand power of being like, it's just Cyberpunk, but more, and you get to play with your friends. Like there is an appeal to that. It just depends what it is. Like if it's going to be like a battle royale, I don't really see a huge need for that in the Cyberpunk world. But if they're trying to do something kind of cool and interesting with it, that could work.
Yeah, the only way like I think I would like to see it implemented is if it was like you could play certain missions with your friends, or
Co-op.
explore Night City with your friends. Yeah, I like rings like in my mind. I imagine like a lot of the missions in like Phantom Liberty, for example, where you're like sneaking into things, or like you got a sniper and you're like covering someone, and like ways that I think co-op missions could work. I think could be a lot of fun doing that online. But like I don't know if I think the gunplay in Cyberpunk feels really good. But I don't think I necessarily need that in like a online kind of either battle royale or team deathmatch situation. I think it's the fun of the combat in Cyberpunk single players is enough, and I kind of agree. Like I wouldn't want them to focus so much on this and it to detract from the single player aspects of a potential sequel. But Klein, what's your kind of takeaway from this?
I think I would be like welcome to seeing what they could do with multiplayer in the Cyberpunk world. I've spent so many hours in GTA Online, which is not a like fully fledged like story experience by any means, but there were like little bits in there and co-op missions and then going off and doing competitive things with your friends. I think there is a lot of opportunity to do this. Just like the potential of giving you this big open playground and then saying, hey, now you can play in it with your friends, like that is really cool. But as you guys have kind of been saying, it kind of can go one of two ways. And that will kind of dictate how I feel about it. If it is this, hey, we have this massive narrative, expansive single player story, and when I get into this mission, so and so can come over and we can do this together, and it is like made for that. That to me sounds like a lot of fun. Or is it going to be this additive mode, kind of like what GTA Online was, where, hey, this is a separate thing that you load into a separate world where you have your own set of activities, and whether it be team deathmatch things and races and all sorts of like that could be fun too. But I am almost more interested in how can we further explore, how can we further push what you did in the first game, and that narrative that you explored, and do it with other people. I think like that could be a great kind of next step for the game to take, because we have seen a lot of Last of Us's, Cyberpunk's, Witcher's, these great single player stories, but we have only seen a couple co-op, couple multiplayer things that have done the great story with other people around you. And so would CD Projekt Red be the studio to take that leap and to innovate in that way? I think they would. Like, they do feel kind of like that studio, so that could be I think pretty cool. So yeah, I'd like to see it. I just like to see them try. I'd like to see what they could do with it, because I think that studio isn't just going to be like, hey, guess what, guys, Cyberpunk TDM, load it up out of the menu, like the Tomb Raider multiplayer mode in the reboot or whatever, or like factions even. I think that they would go that next step and really like, hey, I don't think they would go this far, but say, hey, we're making Cyberpunk MMO, or like really, really integrate that multiplayer experience into the quote unquote single player experience as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are storytelling possibilities that you could go down that road. Like whether you're playing as like, I don't know, like Solomon Reed, and like another person's like another like named character, or you're even like, I don't know, like if you're doing flashbacks as Johnny Silverhand, and you're doing different things with different crews, and I think there's a way in there potentially. But I don't know. I guess we could see if this comes to fruition at all. The last thing I'll leave you guys with, like, are there any other like features you'd want to see that maybe weren't in the first game that you'd like to see here, or just like tweaks, anything like that? I guess I'll start by saying the thing that I'd love to see is that I always say that I love like more customization in games, and like Cyberpunk 2077 definitely has that. But one of the things it kind of, I don't know, left a little bit to be desired was the kind of apartments that you can get in the game. You can like buy different apartments, and it's basically just set dressing. But I'd love to, I don't know, I just want to like customize my little house in Night City, and like, I don't know, move around like an Animal Crossing thing. And I think it'd be
Tom wants
kinda cool.
Cyberpunk Animal Crossing is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
exactly. Yeah, come on, is that so wrong? But I don't know, Klein, is there anything you're dying to see?
That what you just pitched, like they have that in GTA Online. Like you can do that and buy apartments and dress them up. And Tom, this game exists, so I think Cyberpunk 2 could very well like integrate that, if they were to do what kind of I was thinking with their multiplayer component. I don't really know what I would want from a Cyberpunk sequel specifically, other than more of the first. I think, but by the time we jumped into that game, which was a year after, or years after it had come out, and the expansion was there, and it was like this like perfected experience, the best experience it was ever going to be. I thought it was like a 10 out of 10. I thought it was one of the best experiences of the generation. So I just kind of want more of that, and I don't think I'm and for it to run when it releases in 2039 or whatever. So
one could hope. Lauren, is there anything you're itching to see?
I want flying vehicles. Let's live in the future.
Ooh, yes, that's a great idea. Like I didn't even think about that, but that
was
makes a
there
lot of
not
sense.
even like planes or anything in the first one? No, so
No
Not that you can
helicopters or
fly.
anything that you
that
could
makes a lot of
control.
sense.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially in this, like Blade Runner kind of future, you see that all the time in the kind
Yeah.
of
I mean,
Give
you
me
can
the
fly
Cyberpunk
hoverboard.
genre.
around.
Give me the flying car. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
time.
let's do it.
Cool. Okay. Cyberpunk 2. As I said, 2039. We'll see it one day. That is the news we choose. Tom Drew, give us the outro.
It's the news we choose. Yeah.
And we move over to to the iconic video game sound effect draft. We have done a video game soundtrack draft. You can go find that. Apparently, it was June 2024. It felt much like closer to now than that. But yes, it was over a year ago that we did that. We will be drafting iconic video game sound effects today. This is any like small sound, or even I might even consider like little short bits of music for this sort of draft, like little flourishes, not like a level song or theme song or anything like that. But we'll each be drafting 3 picks as usual. There are the 3 teams, me, Tom, and Lauren. The draft order, it is a snake draft as always, and the draft order, as I determined before we started on wheelofnames.com, will be, drumroll please, it will be Tom Drew picking first.
Why am I always first? I feel like I always
I don't
go
know.
first.
I don't know what to
This
tell
is
you.
crazy.
You want to stop picking first?
No, it's fine, but like I don't know. Like I feel like there's some bias in these. The namepicker.com maybe.
I clear the cookies every time. Lauren Rouse, you're picking second, and I will be picking up the end, doing the corner with third. I think we just get right into it. I don't know
Yeah, I
if
guess so.
anyone has any preamble. I don't know if anyone has any strategy coming into this. I'm trying to stall for you, Tom, because I don't know if you have an option ready to go. But like iconic video game sounds, there's so many of them.
There are a lot. I mean, the way I kind of I have a bunch listed here just because like I did have to think about it. I was like, it's not something you, at least that I think about when I'm playing games a lot of the time. But then when you do think about it, it's like, oh yeah, that does make my like brain tingle a little bit when this little sound happens. And I guess like that's my kind of approach with this is like, does it make my brain tingle, or is it just like a fun sound in a game? Because like there is kind of an art to it. There's a lot of games that do it very well. There's some games that don't really pay much attention to it, which is also fine, I guess. Anyway, I'm stalling here because I don't really know where I want to go. I guess I'll just go and rip the band-aid off with Pokemon. Because Pokemon, a lot of sounds that just sound really great in that game. You have you're catching your Pokemon. You got your I don't know, when you get an item. But the one I'm picking is the Pokemon Center lil jingle when you heal your Pokemon. I guess it's like the little do 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 do. It just, I don't know, like it never fails to make me a little joyous that my little guys are healed up. And the way they kind of remix it, they do this a lot with Pokemon where they remix like music and sounds in their games. So yeah, Pokemon Center theme. Shout out Nurse Joy. It's a good sound.
I can't believe that went number one overall, but good for you, Tom. You're living your best
What?
life.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just, when I think of the best of the best, the
Oh, come on.
what's that mountain with all the Mount Rushmore, I'm not American, of video game sounds, I don't even think this would be my number one Pokemon sound.
What's your number one Pokemon sound?
I can't tell you that. This is a draft, sir. This is a
Okay,
competition.
Okay.
Tom, you pick what you want to pick, okay? Don't let him
thanks,
talk you
Lauren.
down.
Jeez. Jeez Louise.
How am I supposed to label this even? Like, that's how like uniconic
Pokemon
this.
Center
I
Heat.
mean, okay.
You take that back. You take Pokemon fans, rise up. Rise up in the comments.
I know the exact sound you're talking about. That do.
Yeah, it's
do,
iconic.
like,
I mean,
yeah.
I said it there. What do you want from me? What do you
I'm
want?
gonna be honest. I maybe just forgot about this one when I was writing all my stuff down. But yeah, I didn't think about this.
So he's jealous.
I'm not jealous
Yeah.
at all. Not at all.
Sounds like what someone who's jealous would say.
Oh, okay, Lauren. Whatever. You're going second, so go ahead. Make me even more jealous.
I will. I don't know if this counts as a sound, but I'm gonna go with it. It's recency bias for sure, but it's gonna be Sherma from Hollow Knight Silksong. My little guy singing at the door.
This
Iconic.
draft is off to a blazing start.
All right, let's
Fantastic
see what
stuff
you
all
pick
around.
then. Jesus,
Yeah,
I'm
that's like,
expecting
what's
huge
the-
things
No,
from
I'm
you
not.
tonight.
I'm sorry.
This
I'm
savagery
formatting
that's
the
being passed
table.
around today.
This is just this is our draft, right? This is
Yeah,
our
Tom,
iconic. This is
You
iconic
support me
to
with
us.
Sherma? Come on.
Oh yeah. I guess you said you didn't want to do impressions, so I guess I have to. The baton falls to me. The best way I can describe if you don't know, Hollow Knight Silksong, there's a little bug called Sherma, and you find her at like a door the first time you find her, and she's just ringing a bell, and she's going dee 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 be de be de be bo be de da da be. Like that's the best way
Pretty
I
much.
can. It's like a little ditty. I don't know, Lauren. It fills me with joy, but I don't know about you.
I do too. I like every time that I walk into an area and I can hear the singing, I'm like, firstly, I know there's a door nearby, but also
Yeah.
it's just makes me happy. And she's gone, well, it's gone on to be a meme, and I think that's really fun. And I think it will become a very iconic sound. It's just, it's barely 2 weeks old, so
Yeah.
it's early days for Sherma.
I really like how blissfully ignorant to the hells around her she is. Like with that sound, it is she's just vibing and has no idea that like the terrors that await beyond the door she's standing in front of.
Oh yeah. Like I found her in situation. I don't really want to spoil it because I'm a bit further in the game now. But I found her in a situation and she's just chilling. She's just having a great time, and I'm like, meanwhile,
And
I'm fighting all these bosses.
you come out of this crazy whatever battle with a giant
Yeah.
termite with 8 legs spitting acid at you, and you're like screaming at your Nintendo Switch, and she's just like la 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 la.
An
And
iconic
it's
move,
like,
honestly.
yeah, I think we all wish we could be Sherma and just live with that song in our head rent free. Like it is a beautiful thing.
Okay, we'll go over here. I
Yeah,
can't
let's
believe
hear it.
I can't believe we've done this. I am
Let's see.
going with guys, the Mario mushroom sound. Womp womp womp. Like, come on.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's iconic.
Yeah,
That's
boring,
the video game
unoriginal.
sound effect.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. And again, similar to Pokemon, I like how they change it up like with every game. Like it sounds slightly different. Is there a specific game that you'd say like is your preferred mushroom sound? If you could pick
The
that.
Super
OG?
Mario Brothers for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Okay. I would go Galaxy. I think the one like it's
That one's got some
I
like almost
guess
like marimba to it. Like it's
yeah, and it's like a little extended.
Mhm.
But yeah, it is a good one. To be fair, it is iconic.
Just for the uninitiated, this is the thing: when you jump on a mushroom, you consume a
Oh,
mushroom.
when you get the mushroom, when you get the power up mushroom, when
Okay,
you go
okay.
from
The
small
power-up
Mario to
mushroom.
big Mario, yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and it goes like womp womp womp.
perfect.
Wow. Now I'm just like now we have fun. I had to get that one off the board. I had to make sure that was that was making the list today. I think for my second one, I'm gonna go chalk again. I'm going iconic video game sounds. The name of the draft. Waka 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 waka. I'm Pac-Man.
You're Pac-Man. Okay.
Pac-Man's Waka. It's iconic. It was in
Yeah.
Pixels featuring Adam Sandler. Tom Drew. Can't say
Yeah.
that about the Pokemon Healing sound.
I guess not. What a feat that it has achieved. I did think about Pac-Man. It's not on my list of sounds, but Pac-Man it's got some good ones. Like even the death sound when you die against the ghost, it's like
Yeah.
oh, it's like I don't know, they nailed it, man. But yeah, the Waka, it is it is great. I mean, especially when like when I'm playing Smash Bros. And I'm rarely playing Pac-Man, but when I'm playing against someone playing Pac-Man, I hear that I'm like, it's a good one.
I do also enjoy it. Borders soundtrack, but the doodly doodly doo doo doodly doo, like the start of Pac-Man when the level starts. But I think that's like too close to like soundtrack because that's about all it has for music. Lauren, pick
Sorry,
number 2.
trying to avoid
Yeah,
the
no, do what you
the
gotta do.
sunshine in my eyes here, which is really enjoyable. Yeah. All right, 2 classic iconic sounds, I suppose, Klein. So predictable.
Play to win. What can I say?
We'll see.
I don't know.
Anyway, you've obviously picked Mario, which is your favorite childhood game. I'm gonna just have to pick one from mine, which is Crash Bandicoot. And I could go one of 2 ways, but I think I'm gonna go with the Aku Aku mask sound when he comes out of the box.
Yes.
And it goes like ooga booga.
Oh, it's
It's
so
okay.
so
good.
cute.
It is
Yeah.
so good.
And if you get 3 of them, it becomes a whole song and you're like invincible, and that is an iconic tune. So yeah, I like that one a lot. I could have gone with the well, I don't know, maybe one of you will pick it, but the whoa from
Yeah,
Crash when he
that's my
dies.
favorite. That's my favorite.
But I like the mask personally. I think it's just like so linked to that game, and is so such a random sound that it's ingrained in my brain.
To think they went from there to maybe not that same audio team, but the lineage of that audio team is making clickers make those terrifying sounds.
Got to
Oh
start
yeah,
somewhere.
that's true. Yeah, that's the thing. And bricks and bottles, like,
Hmm.
getting flung at zombies. So they did
An
well.
Ooga
Yeah,
Booga of
Ooga
a
Booga.
different variety.
Definitely. Oh god, as soon as you said it, like, I can just hear Aku Aki. Like, that's such a I don't know. Crash has some good
Oh,
sound
the
effects for sure.
woe is the best.
Whoa is great.
Whoa.
The
Yeah.
only thing with woe is that it's like that's when you die. So I'm just like
Yeah.
it's a negative connotation. I like that when
Oh,
I have
we
the
may talk
mask.
about death sound effects coming up.
Okay, all right.
Maybe.
Well, this is my time. And when I get the mask, I like that I am protected. It's like my little buddy is there with me.
Tom, you're gonna round out your team here because you have 2
Oh my
back-to-back
god,
picks. So
it's already over. That's so sad. Right. This is the thing is, like, my team is gonna sound so stupid. I feel like it sounds stupid. So I think I have to go with, like, at least one insane. We're gonna do honorable mentions, like, because I have a lot, like, written down here. I think I will go with Zelda. Again, a lot of great sound effects across the games. I'm just gonna have to go with the opening chest, like the chest opening sound.
Yes.
The doo
it's on
doo
my
doo
list.
doo. Yeah, it's
So
so
good.
good. I think my favorite probably is the Breath of the Wild to the Kingdom one, where it feels kind of like eerie and kind of otherworldly. I really like the way they kind of play with that. But again, Zelda has some. It just has such good sound effects, but that's probably my favorite. Just whenever I hear it, and the ways it kind of builds when you get like a regular chest, and then like a big chest, and like a master or grand chest, I guess. Um, it just feels so good.
For me, the lead up is almost as good as the dude, like the do at the end, because that like do.
Yeah,
It's just like it's so good. I can picture Ocarina of Time usually if I'm thinking about it, and like with that polygonal Link slowly, like usually young Link leaning whole body into the chest with his like hips over the edge and his and it's all glowing, and then yeah, you get the big finish. Good stuff. Very high on my list.
Here's the thing. I don't even play many Zelda games and I know that sound. So that was definitely like when I was looking at potential sounds that came up in my list too.
yeah, for sure. And then the last one,
Do
I
something
I,
crazy, Tom.
I think
He did Pokemon Healing #1.
Do it
I don't know
again.
if this is arguably crazy. I don't know if this will like even. We'll see if this is allowed. We'll get the verdict here. Um, my pick for my last one comes from Animal Crossing. I've picked all Nintendo games, which is I don't know. They're just very good. I mean, we'll get to some others, I'm sure, but Animal Crossing has some great ones. You've got like the different emotes that you do, and they have like little sound effects like tied to them, I guess, or like when you catch a fish or you collect an item. But I'm
Yes.
picking what I think is the most iconic, which is when villagers talk and they just go, and it's so good, man. It's so. I don't know who thought of that. If you don't know, I think the way it works is it's just like the different voice like sounds, and they're just saying the letters really quickly of the words that they're saying. I think that's correct. I could be wrong. But the way they have different villages speak in different tones and different cadences. Uh, I just think it's awesome. I think it's so iconic. I don't know. I don't know what Klein's going to think, but Lauren, are you are you on my side here?
I think it's so funny because I think when I think of Animal Crossing sounds, it is the one of when you pick up an item and it makes that noise. But This is funny. It was an unexpected, but now that you point it out, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. That's just like the soundtrack of my life. Whenever someone comes over and I don't want them to be there, whenever I run into someone and they want to talk to me, because I never want to talk to my villagers. But yeah, I think that's a good one.
Is that not the whole point of Animal Crossing? I might be mistaken, but to talk to your villagers and like hang out and like make friends.
No, I'm there to build my island.
Lauren's
We need
a
other
As a
people
part of
on
that
it.
island, there are
pirate.
other people on it. This isn't just a
And they have nice homes that I've set out for them, but they don't need to talk to me about it.
Lauren's not neighborly on this Animal Crossing island.
I just don't have time for them. I'm busy.
I'm out here terraforming hills and tearing up the entire island and forming it to my imagination. But if you want to talk about your turnips or whatever, I'm not having it. I'm out here. I'm busy. There's a vision to achieve.
It's the introvert's
I
game,
respect-
really.
Yeah, I respect it, to be honest. It's a way to do it.
I really like this pick, Tom. This goes all the way back to my Animal Crossing GameCube love. And there are a lot of great Animal Crossing sound effects, but this is good. You did good work here today. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You've turned a corner in Klein's eyes.
A little bit. I do really like there's a sound that they make when I don't know if they do it in the more recent games, but in GameCube, if you don't turn off the GameCube right, like if you don't save, you'll turn it back on and Resetty the mole will be sitting outside of your
Yeah.
house and he'll be like shocked that you didn't turn it off and his eyes will go completely circle and they'll make this like boom like sound, this like really
Yeah.
like hollow thunk. I
know
think
what you're
about
talking
that
about.
sound a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, they should bring Rossetti back because he's kind of absent from.
He doesn't
from New
exist
Horizons.
in any of the new ones, right?
You can call him, I think, but like, yeah, he doesn't actually physically appear, which sucks.
Lauren, your final pick.
Okay. It's like I could go for something semi-logical, but I don't think I
Do
will.
the funny one. Do the
I
funny
think I'll
one.
go. I think I'll do the funny one.
Yes.
I think there's nothing. There's sound effects, but there's nothing more fun than a sound effect that you can control and that you can emote yourself, and you can do that in Untitled Goose Game with the honk.
Ooh, good
Yeah.
one.
It's not
Yeah.
exactly a groundbreaking sound. I can go outside and see a Canadian goose and hear it. But when you get to control it in a game and use it as a weapon, that is fun.
Yeah, it's a weaponized sound effect. Like, not many games really do that. I think, honestly, like, this is a great pick because I can hear the specific honk that the goose makes in the game, and like, I don't know, it's iconic. I think in its own little way. Like when that game was really popping, all I was seeing and hearing was honks. Like the meme factor alone. So I like this a lot.
Here's the other thing. When I was like thinking of picking iconic sounds, like for me personally, like my like what do you call it? Like my criteria is like, would it make a good like mobile phone sound? Could I pay for this and have it as my text sound?
Yeah, okay.
So yes, like Crash Bandicoot, yes. Honk, yes. And Shermer I would have as my ringtone, let's be honest. But I think this would be a fun texting tone.
Lauren,
I'm just imagining being near you and your phone just goes ooga booga like rapidly because someone's like,
well, Tom,
texting
watch
you
out
loads.
the next time you see me.
do people still mess with like the texting tones and stuff? Because I don't know if this was ever a part of your life, Tom, but like Lauren and I come from a time when crafting the ringtone was an art. I remember my first like LG Rumor slide phone and like downloading ringtones off of my computer
Oh,
onto
yeah.
my phone. So it'd be
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
this is perfect. I had like the Wilhelm scream at one point was my text tone, which was really
God.
obnoxious.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Which was funny for like 12 hours, and then it got really unfunny really fast.
Yeah, I just remember because like it was like an old Samsung phone, and like people would you'd get them, like at least I would get them through Bluetooth. Like that was the way I got these songs. So I got like, I think my phone could only store up to 5 songs, and one of them was like from like Red Alert 2 or something, or like that like
Like
a
Command and
game.
Conquer?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
and it
yeah,
was like
sure.
my ringtone for a while was like that theme, I guess. But yeah, back in the day when
I remember there
That
used
was
to
how you did
be,
it.
I don't know if this was international, it probably was as well, but like these commercials on TV where you would like text a number and it would
Yes.
give you like this like really awful pixelated version of like a pop song or something
Yes.
as
Yeah.
your
That's right.
ringtone
Iconic. I don't know
and
why you
cost you
said
like
back
a
in the day,
dollar.
Klein. Like, I want one of you to text me right now.
Why? I don't think I've actually ever heard my ringtone on this phone.
This is the thing. Our phones are on silent so often, but yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
it's a thing of the past. I changed my ringtone, my text tone quite often. Although this one I think I've had for a while.
I'm actually really bad. Lately, I haven't even been turning my phone off do not disturb in the morning, so my
Oh,
phone just doesn't do anything. It's just it's just a brick. We're waiting. Uh,
is that
is it a
BB-8?
droid?
It's BB-8.
It's
Yeah,
BB-8.
Oh, I love that. That's
that's
fantastic.
awesome. That's so great.
Anyway,
That
something fun for the
you
listeners.
may have changed the way that I'm looking at how I'm going to tackle this last one based on that, because
I'm
there's
glad this
one
was
video game
useful.
sound effect
Yeah.
that I had as my text tone that is like is iconic as well.
Okay.
That I think I might do with my last pick. I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do the shields replenishing sound from the Halo franchise, which is this like really satisfying boop. It's like if you played Halo, you know exactly the sound that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can as when you did it, like I can hear that sound now. That's a good one. I wouldn't have thought of that. Um, but yeah, oh my god, that's for like
That
bringing me
was my
back
text
to
tone
Halo 3
forever,
days.
for
Damn.
years, because it's subtle. Like you have no, if you don't know, it's just a like sounds like a phone sound, but it's just like really nice. Boop. It's great. Good stuff. I like what
I
we've done
want
here today.
that. I want your impression of that to be my like
I
Yeah.
text
did.
tone.
There was a period of time where my friends and I thought it would be really fun to. We figured out on specifically on the LG Rumors shout out with the slide out keyboard, the best one I ever owned. You could record your own ringtone, which was the first
Ooh.
time we knew you could do that. And so we would take each other's phones and record something and then not tell the other person what it is and not do anything about it until we were in class or someone like somewhere they would get a phone call. And there was one of my friends, Matthew, who Lauren you've met. I recorded a ringtone for him that was just me screaming, just a scream as loud as I could at the top of my lungs in my prepubescent 13-year-old voice into this phone. And God, when that phone rang, I think it was either math or science class in the 9th grade. Just some of the best stuff I've ever experienced.
Oh god, we had fun. We had fun back in the day, you know.
Okay, yeah, that's our iconic video game sound effect draft. It kind of went a little off the rails. You said you had some what do you call them? Oh my gosh, I'm
Like
losing
honorable
Honorable
my.
mentions.
mentions.
It is the end of day on a Friday. Tom, honorable mentions. That's what they're called. You have a
Yeah.
few other sound effects you want to shout out.
Yeah, I have a couple here. This one, the first one I'm going to mention, I'm surprised that you didn't go this direction, but Sonic the Hedgehog, the spin dash.
Oh, I
Oh,
had the rings exploding from him
Mm.
oh
when he
yeah,
gets
that is
hit.
also yeah, that was also good. But the spin dash just rips. Um, from like Lego games, collecting studs, like the little click 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 click
Yep.
click when you like pick up Lego studs. I think it's really good. And uh, Phoenix Wright, like when you're talking again, another thing when you're talking to people, there's loads of little sound effects like a ding or like just things that kind of I guess indicate what the mood is of how someone's talking. I just think
I like the
those
really
sounds are so good.
compressed, like awful DS speaker objection. Like that's
Yeah,
really
even
good
those
too.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
hold it. It's so good. And then the last one, if I wasn't gonna pick Animal Crossing, this was gonna be the one I was gonna pick. Minecraft has a lot of iconic sound effects, but my favorite has to be the villager, where they just go, huh, huh. It's just
I
so
like
good.
the
I
Minecraft knocking sound, like the knock knock
oh
knock
yeah,
knock knock, like when you're
yeah,
hitting things is very satisfying.
it really is. They nailed it. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
I
The
had two
only
as well.
yeah,
I had one that was going to be a logical one, and then one that was unhinged. The logical one, which I would have gone with if depending on how this draft went, but then I went for the chaos option. Was Yoshi's sound. Like
Oh,
he has
yeah.
so many great sounds.
Which
Like the
ones?
but
There's so
I was like,
many.
the jumping is great. The when he like sticks his tongue out is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the tongue noise, honestly, but that's an
I
odd
like
thing to put
he
in a
has
draft.
the flutter kick sound when he jumps. He's like,
Yes.
"Yee!" Like it's so good.
Yeah.
Or even when he says his name, it's just like Yashi. It's just so cute.
Yeah, it's great.
So any of those sounds. And then my unhinged pick was a lot of the like when I was looking up memorable sounds to prepare for this, there a lot of them are from really old games, right? Or things that have been around for ages. So I was trying to think of like, is there something from like a more modern game? Obviously, I have kind of two of those on my list anyway. But I was trying to think of a Helldivers 2 sound
Oh
that
yeah.
would be iconic. And I don't think there's like one specifically, but it would have been really funny if it was the sound of Pelican 1 coming in to save your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like, I don't know, just like like even just like the voice lines some of the Helldivers have, I
Yeah.
think
My
like contribute
leg.
to that. Yeah, it's just that's become his own sound effect. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Helldivers 2 in general, but I just couldn't think of one particular sound.
yeah.
But when you hear Pelican ones coming into land, you're just like, thank God.
hmm
I had the sonic rings flying everywhere is great. The alert sound from Metal Gear Solid,
Oh yeah,
with the
the
exclamation point, like bloom.
yeah.
That was a really bad impression of that. The GTA death slash wasted sound, where it's like it's
Oh
become a meme of
yeah,
its own. That like that's really
yeah.
good. And then I had the Nathan Drake Vuvuzela.
Oh
Oh
my
my
When you
god,
die.
God, that's a good
I
one.
forgot
Nate,
about that.
no!
Oh, that's a good
So
one.
good.
Those Vuvuzelas are crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also wondered whether the "You Died" in like Souls games had a sound.
Oh
It doesn't
yeah, a little bit.
really. Does
Okay.
it?
Well, it just has
It's
like a kind of like a creepy kind of
yeah. It's very
sort of
subtle.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
yeah, but there's
I did
something to
wonder.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other good one. I had catching a
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon, Tom.
Yeah, catching Pokemon's good. I had shooting a portal gun, like the
Yeah.
whoop whoop.
Yeah.
That's quite satisfying. Yeah, getting a smash ball when you get a final smash and
Smash has
smash.
some good ones too. Like when you knock someone
Yeah,
out, like when you hit them and
yeah,
they are
yeah.
100% going away, it makes this like really nice like sound. It's like really good.
hmm Yeah,
But a lot of the sound effects in that game are ultimately from other games.
yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, the last one I'll shout out is the Mario Kart like item box jingle when you get an
Yes.
item box, where it's like doodle doodle ding ding
Yes.
ding ding. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I see. I don't need to put these sound effects in. I think we've covered them all.
We've
We did a
done
very
it.
good job there. Yeah, thank you, saving my editing time. That's going to do it for the iconic video game sound effect draft. Let's go over our teams very quickly, and then we can get into what we've been playing. I had the Mario Mushroom power up sound, Pac-Man's Waka 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 Waka, and the Halo shields replenishing. Lauren, you had
I had Sherma from Hollow Knight Silksong, aka the Song of the Summer. I had the Aku Aku Ooga Booga sound from Crash Bandicoot, and the honk from Untitled Goose Game.
and Tom.
I had the Pokemon Center healing sound from Pokemon, the chest opening sound from Zelda, and the Animal Crossing language sound from Animal Crossing.
That is the iconic video game sound effect draft. Let us know what you thought about that. You can also let us know over on socials what you've been playing along and sound off on what we've been playing. You guys have talked a lot about Sherma today. Or Sherna or Sherma? M?
Sherma.
Sherma?
Shima.
So I'm going to throw to you guys. Silksong update. How are we feeling? 2 weeks in now. Beating the game, right? All done, 100%. Easy peasy,
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah. I don't know what these people are saying. This game is a piece of cake. Yeah, I beat Act 1 of the game. There are apparently acts in this game, which I didn't know about until I beat the first act, which was a shock. I didn't think I'd beaten the game necessarily but it was okay. But God, it's still just so good. Like final not final boss, but the boss at the end of Act 1 might be one of my favorites in the game. I think the name is, what's their name? It's called Last Judge or something like that, and it's like it's in the trailer. Throws a bunch of fire around, um, and it's just been really fun to like understand these bosses' attack patterns. I've tried to not get like so frustrated with this like with these things because like it's very easy to do that because there are so many bosses and they get really difficult, so I'm just trying to enjoy my time with it as much as possible. But like just the exploration, this game feels so huge. I love looking around this world. I'm in the kind of Citadel area now, so I'm about 15 hours in to the game, and it like opens up this completely different looking world from what you've experienced up until that point, which feels a bit more like organic and natural. This feels more like oppressive, and it's like all steel like cages and castle stuff. And yeah, I'm continuing to have a blast. Lauren, like, how are you any further with Silksong?
I'm like half an hour further. Because like I said, I am taking this super piecemeal, and as you said again, like it's a difficult game. So I'm really taking my time to make sure that I'm prepared. I wanted to upgrade my map completely before I kind of
Mm,
went any further, because that's my biggest thing, is like getting lost. And I want to know where the benches are and where I should be saving before things happen. So I'm still in the marrow, just hanging out there, looking around. I think we can all assume that after the next 2 weeks, our Silksong will be put on the back burner, and I probably
yeah.
won't be getting through this anytime soon. But I am enjoying just kind of like picking it up for half an hour, because it is kind of a good game for that, where you can get really sucked into being like, okay, I'm going to make progression, I'm going to beat this boss. But for me, it's more like I have half an hour on a break, just going to walk around a bit, found a safe bench. All right, we can put it down for now.
Yeah, definitely. I think like my issue now is that like I'll do that. I'll be like, okay, I have a little time here. I'm gonna like play a little bit, and then I end up playing like 3 hours. So it is very uh addictive.
Was the first game
But
like
yeah,
that for you, Tom? Where time just disappeared?
I think so. But I think it's I don't know what it is, but I think this game even more so has been like getting its hooks in me even more. I think it is just like Hornet's movement. The way she moves, like she feels so much more fast paced than the Knight did in the first game. So exploration just feels a lot more like I guess seamless for lack of a better term. So um, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really got that exploration down pat in terms of like constantly you encouraging you to like, okay, I'll just look a little bit more, or look like find out where this passage goes, or find out where I need to go, and it just does such a good job with that.
I had a night the other night where I'm not playing Silksong, but I am playing the first Hollow Knight, and just assume until I say I'm beat at it, I am going to be playing it, so I don't need to keep providing updates. But I hit a wall at the time we recorded last time. I have now since passed that wall and have unlocked the final boss, but am realizing now that I am not near the end of the game. Like I guess I did things out of order maybe, because
Oh
I
right.
went to do the final boss and it gave me a percentage counter and it's less than 40%. I think it's like 35% complete, which is like kind of messed with my brain a little bit. So we'll see. I have now I tried the final boss. I'm like, well, if I can try it, I'll go ahead. And I got to the second phase and was like, nope. I then opened up my map and said, there's a bunch of doors that don't lead anywhere over here. That's meaning I haven't explored them. I am just going to go that direction. And I found a Colosseum. I've since beaten the Colosseum, which is cool. But yeah, Hollow Knight, good game. Lauren, what's the game that's keeping you away from Hollow Knight right now? Because you have another game written down here.
Yeah, I'm also playing Ghost of Tsushima in preparation for Ghost of Yote. I don't know why I left it till two weeks before Yote released to finally play Ghost of Tsushima. This is totally on me. But if you're not a long time listener of the podcast, I did start playing this early last year, again, after far too many years waiting. And I was very sucked into it. I had taken like a week off work for something, and that was like kind of keeping me company through that week. And it was such a good time, because Tsushima is one of those games that really just immerses you and encourages exploration. So I was a little concerned jumping back in. I'm like, will I remember everything? Can I pick up where I left off? And it has been a little bit of a teething process. I'm still pressing the wrong buttons to do moves and stuff like that, but it is coming back to me kind of like an old dream. The problem now is that I'm still that person who's like, I want to clear the entire map before I move on, and I'm still in the first like little third of the island,
Oh
and I'm
man.
like, girl, if
Oh,
we want to get through this
you
in
got
2 weeks,
2
we got to
weeks.
go. I know. I think I'm
God.
gonna have to like give up on doing all the side quests and just mainline the main story, and then come back to it another time once Yote is done. If you can ever go back from Yote, we'll have to find out.
2 weeks
So
away. We've got so many games coming. Hades 2, Ghost of Yote, so many things.
Don't remind me. I'm
I want to
stressed.
add one to your list, guys. We
Please
October,
don't.
September just got a whole lot busier. I want to talk about a little game called Flickshot Rogues. This is a game that we were provided code for. It came out this week. We saw it, Tom, you and I, sitting in a hospital bed, cuddled up together, watching the Mix Indie Game Showcase before
yeah.
PAX on that wonderful Friday morning. This is a roguelike, similar to something like Hades, where you play as a pirate, except you are going into these little battle arenas that are like game boards essentially, and you are a piece, and you are kind of like Angry Birdsing your way across this board where you're kind of slingshotting yourself at the enemies, and depending on the pirate that you take into each run, you either want to like hit the enemy directly, or the pirate I really like, the pirate that I've actually beaten a couple runs with, you just get near them and it does a big swinging sword movement in a circle and damages them. And so you kind of take a pirate and then you take a loadout with you, and that loadout can be electricity, where when you hit an enemy they become electrified. If they hit other enemies they also become electrified. At the end of the turn it does a little bit of damage. My personal favorite is these thorns, that when you hit an enemy they become like thorned, and then anytime they hit anything else they deal damage, and you slowly go from arena to arena upgrading your abilities. So maybe these thorns, now when one enemy gets thorned and they touch another enemy, now both of them are thorned, or now your pushback does a whole lot, like does 50% more damage, or now you swap places with the enemy every time you touch them. And I'm a sucker for these kind of games. I'm figuring out more and more that like I really, really like the roguelike formula, especially when we are taking things from run to run. Like we have in this, you have an experience kind of currency that you're coming back after a run and leveling up and unlocking more abilities to find out on the battlefield, more resources that will start showing up as you go from level to level. This is some of the most fun I've had in gaming in 2025. I love Flickshot Rogues. Right now it is only on PC. I played with a keyboard and mouse. I think I'd be interested to know. I think you can play with controller. I haven't yet. I'd be interested to know how it feels on controller, because this is a Switch game waiting to happen. Like this is a portable game ready to go. Pull out on the plane, do a run, do even just one level, because it's not like Hades where you're kind of Hades feels a little more seamless, where you're going room to room and they're all connected. This is very much like I am opening up a board and it's kind of like a puzzle. You're like, okay, I have these enemies. How am I going to clear them off? You do that, and then you move to another board, and they have different shapes. They have different hazards on the board as well. It does very much feel as much like a puzzle game as it does an action game, and I just fell in love with it. I've got the code at the time of recording. I think it was like a week or so ago, and I have over 20 hours in this game. I just any
Whoa.
spare minute I have, I am opening it up on Steam here on my computer and diving in. It is absolutely fantastic. Again, Flickshot Rogues on Steam. Please go give it a try. It is so much fun, especially if you like games like Dead Cells, if you like games like Hades, if you're looking for something to maybe feel like that Rogue Legacy, even something like Balatro. There's like some comparisons here because it isn't as active as some of those other games that I mentioned. You will adore this game.
Yeah, I remember like when we did watch the Mix showcase, and like I was like, what is this game? But it honestly looks super fun. It reminds me of like those kind of pool or snooker games that you can get, where you're like trying to get
It brought
shots in and
back,
stuff like that.
this is a deep cut. It brought back miniclip.com 8-ball pool from like
Yes,
2007. That like there
exactly.
was muscle memory that engaged that I didn't know was still there, where I was like, "Oh, I know exactly how to play this game."
Damn, yeah, I didn't. Oh, I didn't even think about that, but that it definitely has a lot of that DNA. So it's kind of cool that they've gamified it even more so. So if this does come to Switch or something, I'll definitely give it a try. It just looks super fun.
And there's a lot to unlock, which I'm like really surprised. I have 2 clears so far. That first one, it felt so good. I can't believe I did it when I did it. I'm like, man, I feel like I cleared this roguelike much sooner than I usually do with these sort of games. I usually have a lot more of the game unlocked, and I still have so many things to unlock. I don't have all the pirates that you can unlock yet. I don't even have all of the kind of loadouts you can take in a battle. There's so much here, and you're just, as I said, from run to run, no matter how long it goes, you're bringing back that experience, leveling up, and slowly introducing more things into your arsenal and making that next run a little more fun or a little bit easier. Or you're unlocking this new ability that now, hey, every time I touch an enemy, it puts a bomb on them. And then after that turn, that bomb explodes. And oh, now that bomb, when it explodes, leaves 3 landmines on the ground. And those explode if anyone touches them. Like, it's just, it does such a great job of like introducing unique opportunities for different builds that feel like this is just me, like this is only I have ever crafted something like this, and feeling like a absolute monster on the battlefield, when I'm sure there are dozens of people that created the same bomb spike build like pairing that I did. But when I'm doing it, I felt like, man, I'm a genius. I can't believe I figured this out. And I think that is like the hardest nut to crack in a game like this, and they've done it.
You're just that good of a gamer.
I don't think so, but I was telling Gabby about these builds, and she's like, "I don't care." Like, I'm like, but the bomb went off, and it left these 3 landmines. But then I also hit them with the thorns, and then when they hit each other, because the bombs went off and moving them around, they all did more damage. And she's like, "That's great, honey. Like, tell your therapist."
Yeah. That's why he has us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Flickshot Rogues. I have it written down. I think we'll be coming back to it by the end of the year. That is just like, I don't think it's winning my game of the year, but I've got some thinking to do. It's between that and Monster Train right now.
Oh boy, damn. Yeah, I just want to shout out one other game quickly. That I was going to bring up last week, but I didn't get a chance to. Deltarune Chapter 3. I've mentioned that I love Undertale. I finally got around to Deltarune. And Chapter 3 and 4 came out this year, so I've been like catching up with where the game's at. I beat Chapter 3 last week, literally just before we recorded last week's podcast, and I was like angry. I was like so mad because, guys, the thing with Deltarune is that they have, in each chapter they have a secret boss, and originally I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not usually the kind of person where I was like, I'm gonna like do punishment to myself for punishment's sake. But on this occasion, I was like, I like Undertale, I like Deltarune enough that I'll give this a shot. Holy shit! The Chapter 3 boss is one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in a game. I guess slight spoilers for Deltarune, if you care about that. You go against this guy called the Roaring Knight, and he, if you're not familiar with Deltarune's like combat, you're basically, it's like a turn-based thing where you have attacks. You can either attack someone or like do things that kind of befriend enemies. So you can do that, and then you are thrown into this like bullet hell segment where you're moving a little heart around, and the enemy's shooting little lasers and different attacks. And some of the things the game has you do against this guy are just nuts. I was like hitting my head against the wall for like, I want to say 2 or 3 hours just trying to beat this guy. I did eventually beat it, which felt amazing. But God, like it got to a point where I like was worried that like I was like, am I gonna be able to do the podcast? Like, I'm so like I'm in such a high emotion. This is crazy. But other than that, yeah, really good game.
I want to do the Undertale Deltarune thing. I think it's like,
I think you'd like
it's
it,
almost
to be
time,
honest.
but I say that like 6 days away from Hades 2. So
This thing,
that
it's
is,
crowded.
and
It's a
then
crowded
which is less than a week away from Goseyote, which is less than whatever from whatever. I had to stop myself yesterday because I get alerts on various platforms, whether it be Blue Sky, Twitter, Reddit, for various deals and sales. And there's a Square Enix sale happening on the Nintendo Switch. And I was like, Final Fantasy X. I've always been told I'd like that game. And I'm like, no, Klein, don't. Like, you have so many
That's
games
so
coming.
dangerous.
And then I was like, wait, but like Dragon Quest 11. I played 40 hours of that on PlayStation. maybe I should restart on Switch. No,
Oh man, don't
not
do
gonna
it.
do it.
Slippery slope. Slippery
Very
slope.
slippery
Before we
slope.
move on, just one quick shout out. I just want to say that I think today in our time, or yesterday our time, it was the 1 year birthday of Copycat, who are our friends from the podcast. And so yeah, they're celebrating their 1 year anniversary of the release of the game. It did recently come out physically, so you can buy it on PS5 and in like a physical copy, which is very cool. And they're also part of the Humble Bundle at the moment. So if you want to try out the game for cheap on Steam, now's the time to do it. But yeah, congratulations to them on 1 year. It's very exciting.
And congratulations to you, Lauren. 1 year as a professional video game voice actor.
Woo.
That's true. It's a big milestone for me.
Oh, that is it for what we have been playing. We'll jump over to Comment Corner. Do we have a Comment Corner for the week, Tom?
Oh yes, we do. I actually forgot to prep it because I'm an idiot.
You're
So I'm
so
just
good
gonna
at this.
stall.
We are
I'm gonna
professionals.
stall while I get it up here. I will say that I know who it's from because it was from Oscar, who we talked about during our PAX episode. He was a lovely gentleman that we met.
Hope you're
at
enjoying
PAX.
Kirby Air Ride on your GameCube
Yeah.
and portable monitor, Oscar.
Absolute legend. And he commented on our PAX episode. So I thought I'd just shout that out. So yeah, it comes from @OscarGoo on YouTube. And he says, "Thank you guys for all the shout outs," crying emoji. Surprised we pretty much had opposite impressions of ZA and Kirby Air Riders. I had a blast playing City Trial, but maybe that's because I'm a huge fan of the original and it feels like a long lost sequel to it. Was on the fence about ZA before and the demo didn't impress me very much. Xenoblade cooldown system is interesting to me, but feels like it's lacking something. Got a little bored fighting the Mega Absol, to be honest. Was such a pleasure meeting each of y'all, and I'm happy it sounds like you enjoyed your first ever PAX. I always leave the show feeling like there was so much more I didn't even get to see. Here's hoping I run into you guys again next year. So shout out Oscar. He was like one of the MVPs of the weekend, and yeah, it makes sense why you liked Air Riders, Oscar, because like I mentioned, you literally brought the GameCube on the train with Air Riders and Air Riding playing that with people. So yeah, thanks so much, Oscar, and yeah, keep the comments coming, guys.
And this week's Comment Corner question of the week is, what is your favorite gaming sound effect? What is the best sound effect in video games? You can let us know over here on YouTube, in the comments section, over on Spotify, or on socials. And you can follow the show, as always, at Controller Club Pod on Instagram and Blue Sky, at Controller_Club on Twitter, and at Controller.Club on TikTok. Also, if you are listening to the show on podcast services around the globe, we do have a video version that goes up each and every week on our YouTube channel. Please head on over there, hit subscribe, ring the bell, thumbs up. We do all of our episodes over there, as well as shorts and highlight videos from past episodes. Tom is doing the Lord's work when it comes to that, putting together our YouTube channel. And please rate, review us wherever you're listening. It really helps out. That's going to basically do it for this episode of Controller Club. Before our goodbyes, this is a very special end of the episode, 171 episodes in. We have a surprise for you, the listener at home, for you, the viewer. I don't know how we're going to do the viewer thing. I guess we'll do the intro. We have a new theme song. We've been using a bubbly, fun, sunshiny theme song for 171 episodes that was found by me in a royalty-free library somewhere that just sounded nice, and I did some editing to it, and here we are. But we have for a long time wanted a bespoke Controller Club theme song, a song that identified us, our brand, who we are, and we have found it. I'm going to throw to one of my co-hosts because they're the one kind of behind this whole operation. Lauren Rouse, you made this happen. This theme song is written, composed, performed, I guess, by a family member of yours. Explain what the people are about to hear.
Yeah, guys, it happened. I finally got my dad interested in the podcast. Yay!
Yay!
I'm just kidding.
Woo!
He's a gamer and he's very supportive, so that's just me being facetious. But yeah, when we were talking about perhaps moving on from our like royalty-free theme song, my dad, who is a very talented musician, he's been playing keyboard since he was a youngin'. He's been in a band for like over 40 years. He recently actually just played his final gig as part of his band, so that was a big milestone for him. But yeah, he's like semi-retired and said he was getting back into like composing his own music and playing around with things. And I said, well, if you need something to do, we have been looking for a theme song for our podcast. Do you want to give it a shot? And I gave him a couple of examples of theme tunes that we liked and games that we liked. And he went away and he came back with this amazing little tune that you're all about to hear, which I don't even know how to describe it, because I'd rather that the viewers describe to us what it reminds them of. But I think it does encapsulate the spirit of this podcast. So it's very exciting that we get to debut it here 3 to nearly 4 years after we started this thing.
Yeah, so we're going to play it. We'll come back for goodbyes. And then starting next week, this will be the new theme song for eternity, because the show is never dying. Here we go. The new Controller Club theme song. Yay!
It's
There
so
it is.
good.
I almost
actually
wanted
love
to
it
jump
so
into
much.
the Welcome to Controller Club.
You can send the
Ready to
Grammy
go.
in the mail.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Rouse, Lauren's dad. I don't know what to call you, but thank you for the theme song. It is perfect. We are very, very excited to be using it. As I said, that's going to wrap up this episode of Controller Club. Tom Drew, where can people keep up with you and all of your ventures?
Yeah, you can find me at Tom Drew Art, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, basically everywhere on the internet. The only thing I really have to promote this week is that I was on the Direct podcast this week, and I will be for the next 6 weeks, I guess. Talking about Gen V. Gen V Season 2 just came out. I guess I'm the official The Boys correspondent of the Direct now, which is
One of the boys.
I'm one of the boys, which is a great feeling, I suppose. But yeah, I'm there with David Thompson. We're going to be talking about new episodes every week. The first 3 dropped this week, so we've got, I think, the episodes out now by the time you're hearing this. So check it out. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, that's about it.
I can say it is out because it came across my feed this morning. So there you
go.
Lauren, where can people keep up with you, and what do you have to promote?
You can follow me at lrouse19. That is Rouse as in house. Not much to promote right now, but I did rank all of the movies that I saw this past summer. It's my first summer movie season living in North America, so I ranked them all on Pelaplat. If you want to go see what my favorite movie of the summer is, go check it out there.
Excellent. You can keep up with me everywhere. I'm at the Kleinfelt, TheKleinFelt. Thank you so much for tuning into Controller Club, wherever you're listening or watching. Thank you as always. Now, let's get gaming.